What's up, Cryptosomniacs? Another bloody red day in the market. We're going to take a look at, does Bitcoin stand to go lower, stand to go a little bit higher? What is the minimum mining profitability? And just take a look at some other news right here on Cryptosomniacs. Stay tuned. Well, it looks like my intro video is not going to play, so let's just get into it, huh? What's happening, guys? What's happening, Banger Committee? Hey, Brit VR, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing today? Let me just make sure I'm also live on Twitch. Yes, good. Hopefully, should be live everywhere. All right, cool. What's up, guys? Hello, Elizabeth. What's happening, Fatal Fury? Hey, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. How's the sound? Got my little secret mic on again. Hopefully the sound is good. I know the video quality is not as good on on my laptop as it is in the studio computer. So hopefully this is still enjoyable for you guys. I am mobile. Will be mobile at least through the rest of the month. So you'll be seeing me coming from the road and snaying, snake coming from the studio. So anyways, let's just get into it. You guys didn't come here to hear me talk about this. So Bitcoin has reached an all-time low price for 2018. Excuse me. Yesterday, it hit the lowest point that we have hit all year. Massive outflux of capital to the market, and market cap is also at the lowest that it's been all year. $181 billion, terrible. 2,080 cryptocurrencies, more currencies coming into the market in the midst of a down market. Just goes to show maybe there is a little bit of hope left yet in the market. Still things coming to market. Still people trying to push forward. So hopefully we'll see something turn around. But Bitcoin dominance extremely high right now. A little bit lower than it was yesterday. But I suspect that is just because we have seen money flat out come out of the market as people flee their altcoin stacks into their crypto. So I want to jump into the very first thing. Amit yesterday on the stream asked me if I was selling my Ethereum, and I said I wasn't going to. So I wanted to correct that and say I ended up selling all the Ethereum that I have on the exchange. Not all of my Ethereum, but all of the Ethereum that I had on the exchange yesterday at about 186 in anticipation of a further drop. So still looking to re-enter that position. I do think we have further down to go. And let's just go ahead and get into that. What's everybody saying here? Monero, yeah, Monero is sub 100, I believe, correct today. What's happening, Mr. Buffalo News? George Soros says we're all good actors, right? I certainly hope so. You know what happens after a flash crash? Yeah, I mean pump, right? Obviously, that's generally how that goes. Small dips and then, but I still think we have further down to go. I still think the bears are fully in control of this market and have further down to go. So the question I think remains is, at what point does it no longer become profitable to mine Bitcoin? And that is largely going to depend on what kind of mining hardware you are using. So let's just take a look at the top story here that I was looking into, because this is what I start to think is, at a certain point, when do the miners dump their entire holdings to stay profitable, right? And at what level is it that the miners would effectively, because at a certain point, why are you going to continue to spend your money on propping up the system if it is costing you money, right? That's just simple economics. So I've been curious, really, what is the price of what is the price of mining? So I found this article on it. It was pretty interesting, specifically saying that if it drops, depending on which Antminer model you're using, if you're using an S7 miner model, then actually if it breaks under the 5300, 5376 is what they're saying specifically, that would mean it was no longer profitable on an Antminer T9, I'm sorry. And on an S7 it's more like 11,005. So obviously an S7 has not been a profitable way to mine since the very beginning of the year, and effectively it's just going to continue to get more and more expensive to continue to mine unless you constantly upgrade your hardware every year. And so depending, this is saying depending on where you're mining it, obviously the cost of your electricity is going to go into that. But yeah, they're saying the minimum is about $3,800. So do I think it has further down to go? Unfortunately, I do think that Bitcoin does have further down to go. I'm not excited about that, but I do think so. And you know, this is something we've been talking about in the community. If you want to know more about what our analysts really want to, you know, are really saying specifically, we would love to have you come on over and join the Cryptosomniac Advantage, which you can still do for free right now. A lot of people wondering what's going on. Hey guys, we are all talking about it, giving our theories and our best bits of informed opinions over there in the Cryptosomniac Advantage. So head over to cryptosomniac.com, click the Advantage button here, and you can try free for 14 days. So find out if it is worth sticking around for you. We have built a very loyal community, lots of people still in there, and you know, amidst the down market, we've got a lot of strong hands. So we would love to have you in there if you're interested. But anyway, so you know, Amal did a technical analysis this morning, and I would have to confirm what he's talking about there. I think it's got further down to go, and I think, you know, I think our next big area of support is actually between 4K and 4,800. We see just overall decreasing volume. Now I'm looking at the weekly here, so I'm looking at really big time frames right now. Oh, Elizabeth, I see your text. I'll get to you in just 1 second here. Yeah, I'll help you get into Discord, no problem. Worst case scenario, I might have you just contact me directly, and we'll help you sort it out. Anyway, yeah, so I think it's got further down to go. You can see here. I mean, there's just not a ton of support below this 5,000 level, all the way down to about, where's that? You know, we start seeing the wicks at about 4,800, right? And then we see some good support in that area, you know, down to from 36 to 48. So I hate to say that's our next area for stop if we cannot hold this level. You know, I think obviously we'll have the mental block there at the 5,000 level. That's just a good solid psychological level because of the whole round number. But I think if we do break below that, then, you know, we're seeing somewhere between 36 and 48, whether I like it or not. So I did buy some Bitcoin yesterday on the way down, guys, which is actually why I ended up selling all of my Ethereum that I had on GDAX, specifically was to you know, my order filled on the way down, and it went way lower than I thought it was. So I got in at about 5,800. Obviously, I would be bag holding as of right now. So sold out of some of my Ethereum and looking to re-enter on the Ethereum to help minimize the difference there, and just keep an eye on Bitcoin in the near term. So let's see. Largely sub 6K is not profitable, says George Soros. Yeah, exactly. I mean, ultimately, overall, right? I mean, in the United States, obviously, electricity is going to be considerably more expensive than it is in, say, China or, you know, in Canada. In certain parts of Canada, it's very cold. I know the electricity is very cheap, and they can cool their mining rigs very easily. But yeah, so it kind of depends. But you know, you got to average that cost around worldwide. But yeah, I mean, guys, we've been saying this is going to break, you know, whether we like it or not. This is a descending triangle. This shape is generally pretty bearish, and it finally broke. I mean, we've been just kissing off of this trend line the entire year, and it finally broke down and put us down. You know what? We bounced right off 5K yesterday. It was a little over 5,100, something like that. Did it quite? I guess it didn't get quite down that low. I thought it got down to like the 5,200 range. Anyway, you know, we are still moving through this wedge. You know, this is still our long-term downtrend line right here, and we're coming up on our 100 period. Or no, actually, we're touching right off the 100-week moving average. It's right there right now. So we'll see, but I think unfortunately we've got further downside to go, whether I like that or not. I think that's just what the charts are telling me, and I'm being realistic. I will say a lot of FUD. Well, you know, guys, I want to touch on this. So, you know, I think I've told the short version of my story of how I got involved in crypto was because somebody convinced my girlfriend to buy Ethereum, and my girlfriend convinced me to buy Ethereum, and so you know, we bought some. Anyway, I just want to say this is a crazy thing, but the guy there's a Facebook group. Again, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not trying to flood anything, and I don't want to call anybody out. But I just thought it was very interesting. There's a Facebook group that I'm in specifically that was grouped around this guy and a few others. Specifically, he was in there yesterday throwing around FUD. Right, crypto assets aren't going to recover. You better move your stuff to asset-backed tokens. Pretty crazy. Just funny to see, to me, people that were so bullish a year ago now are like, it's over, it's all over, and you know, I'm just curious how long they were in the game. But a lot of people giving suicide signals. Like I said, I'm just trying to be a realist, protect the capital that I have in the market, and so I have moved out of a lot of my alts. If you guys want to know what 5 I'm never selling, I did a video on that a couple days ago, so feel free to check for that. Yeah, all right, let's see. What's everybody else saying here? Let me get over to my YouTube chat. What's up? Yeah, Britt might want to chime in. Britt knows more about mining than me. I was just doing some research, but again, I think that's going to have a large effect on when the bottom of the price is. Just a flash crash to take those sweet stop losses, says George. Yeah, I mean, obviously there was some stop loss hunting. Elizabeth, yes, I will help you out shortly. In fact, Elizabeth, I don't know if you're a Telegram person. You can get me on Telegram if you want, at Cryptosomniac, Cryptosomniave. Otherwise, just shoot me an email, and I will help you out. We'll get that figured out. I've helped plenty of people get in there, so we'll get you in. Cool. Yeah. So Elizabeth, just hit me up on Telegram, and as soon as I'm done with the stream, I'll help you get into Discord. No problem. Did I buy any XRP? God damn it, Cyber Kenobi, you're such a troll. I did not. I did not buy any Ripple. I had a tiny little bit of Ripple that I was using. I had a little bit left in a wallet from a trade, and I used my Crypto Hopper for a wallet scrubber. So I actually did make 3% on Ripple a couple of days ago, right before everything fell off into hell in a handbasket. But the only thing I bought yesterday was Bitcoin. Only thing I bought yesterday was Bitcoin. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, that is, there's Charlie Lee's talking about that, right? Getting his popcorn out and saying what happens when an entity that has the ability to 51% attack an entity can do so. You know, so we'll see. Rumor for XRP. What's the rumor, Cyber Kenobi? I don't know. But specifically, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. You know, today is one of those days that I'm just watching with my popcorn. I don't hold any Bitcoin Cash. We'll see which fork ends up being the supported one. Starting to look like SV by all accounts that I am reading. SV being Satoshi's vision, aka Craig Wright's version. And I think that's a problem. You know, if they all decide to just stop mining that and switch back over to the main Bitcoin network, yeah, they could end up with enough hashing power to 51% attack the network, which would be a real problem. And when you have somebody who is an egomaniac like Craig Wright, that is definitely bad for a decentralized system. Just that Friday something's happening. Well, that's that's the rumor. It sounds like somebody's trying to pump their bag, Cyber Kenobi. I don't know, man. You bag holding on Ripple suddenly? So anyways, guys, let's get into some good news, huh? It's been terrible, shitty news for the last couple days, and everybody's like, I know I was freaking out yesterday. I'm sure you guys were all freaking out. We're in this together. Let's keep our hands strong, guys. Let's take a look at some good news. So Tron has launched their first decentralized exchange. Great job, Pump Master Sun, doing stuff to keep those bags pumping. So the Tron decentralized exchange is live now. So more decentralized exchanges in the market I'm very excited about. We'll see. I am curious what level of KYC they're going to force everybody to go through, and does it really maintain being a decentralized exchange? But we'll see where it goes. So anybody riding the Tron train right now? Let's go over and take a look at Tron, why don't we? I have not ridden the Tron train. I sold my Tron quite some time ago, but I get in and out of it here and there. So let's have a look at Tron. How's Tron doing? Boy, did not at all live up to this falling wedge, did it? Tiny little pump and just. Yeah, well, that is starting to look a little bit like a falling wedge. That's on the weekly. Let's look at some different time frames there. Well, it's right at where my stop loss point for Tron is right now. Yeah, so I'll look at this. Yeah, I still even have some previous entries and exits there. So yeah, I mean it's trading right at it's trading right at basically the bottom entry that I had picked from a couple weeks back and is just above the stop loss. So wouldn't be entering a Tron trade on anything right now, but that is starting to look a little bit like a falling wedge, except for these nasty wicks here. So something you always want to keep in mind, guys, when you are looking at these shapes and going for pattern recognition, technical analysis, do not forget to include the wicks, because the wicks will turn things into a channel rather than a wedge, right? You see, this would have been a little bit of a wedge, but these wicks make it more of a channel. So always something to keep an eye on. Chris, how has my crypto hopper been with the price drop? I shut buys off on it actually before the price drop, and obviously it's only at trailing stop loss. Everything is well below that, and I did not have the regular stop loss activated on my crypto hopper, so my crypto hopper is holding some bags right now, and I will hold those bags. This is what happened to me actually last time, and I ended up making a fair amount just shutting off the stop loss, letting it only do sell in profit and on triggering stop loss, or on trailing stop loss rather, and you know, made 20% on Bitcoin Cash recently. So I'll hold those bags. You know, they're already well below what I would have considered a standard stop loss, right? I'm usually not taking more than like a 1.5 to 3.5% loss, and several of those are already down 10% or more. So I'll just hold those bags for now. That's where I'm at. Ooh, and there goes the coffee. So good and caffeinated. Let's see, what else? What else? All right, let's see. I'll find you on Telegram, says Elizabeth. Yes, holler at me and I will help you out. Sushil says, is Craig right saying all this to jeopardize the ETF decision, meaning whales remain in control and make money so government institutions? Wow, that's an interesting theory. That is an interesting theory. I don't think that, regardless of whether an ETF comes in or not, I think regulation is going to come into this market sooner or later, strictly because the government doesn't want a bunch of money floating around without a way for them to get their piece. And how do they get their piece? Regulate it. They regulate it, right? They set in regulation and say, this is how we're going to get our piece. And so now that we've figured out how to get our piece, you guys are okay to continue to go forward with it. So I think regulation is coming one way or another, whether we see an ETF or not. But that is an interesting perspective on that. And certainly I would not put it past an egomaniac like Craig Wright. You know, anybody who's wandering around saying they're Satoshi, clearly an egomaniac. Why would you do that? Satoshi, that is not the behavior of Satoshi, right? If you went to all the trouble of creating the Genesis block and making this entirely decentralized coin with you know, taking extra pains to remain anonymous for 10 plus years, and suddenly you're going to come out and reveal yourself, that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me at all. Yeah. Equal opportunity troller, says Cyber Kenobi. Fair enough, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for showing up all the time, man. Really, it would be boring to just be in an echo chamber and have everybody agree all the time. So I appreciate you. Thanks for staying strong, sticking to your convictions, and still showing up and being a part of the show, man. So thanks. Appreciate you. Oh, let's see. BCH at 250, is it? Oh my goodness. I don't think it's that low, is it? No, 377 is what I see. But boy, it sure fell off a cliff, didn't it? Yeah. I mean, look at this. This was so obvious. We're in a descending channel there. you know, that's generally going to break bearish, and sure enough, it did. No surprise there. I mean, we all expected a dump before the fork announced anyway, right? Realistically, that's how long have we been in this space? Every time this is what happens. All right. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? David Katz from Ripple creating PolySign, an inclusive crypto custody solution. Do you know anything about this project? I do not know anything about this project. I've never even heard of that project. I know about Polymath, obviously, but not PolySign. So very interesting. And looks like somebody is trying to post some sort of meme chart. I don't know. Too many people trying to make profit, not looking at the long game of keeping the money we all make private. Right on the nose, Chris. Right on the nose, brother. I think too many people are looking at this game and specifically just going, yep, how can I make $1 million tomorrow? I don't care about future money. I don't care about the technology. I don't care about freedom. I am just here for me right now. I don't care about changing the world. And, you know, I guess it depends. What are you here for? What are you here in this game for, guys? That's really. I would hope you guys are all longer term people with a little bit more foresight, and you know, maybe some of you guys share my ideals that the way the system currently operates isn't really the best for everybody, and we actually have a shot to maybe change that without having some sort of violent revolution or anything crazy like that. And so that's what I'm here for. So I hope that's what you guys are here for, not just a quick buck. Let's change the world together. As naive as it sounds. Church, yeah, right? I mean, seriously, guys, is that not what you're here for? I would be curious to know. In fact, yeah, give me, in fact, so first of all, you guys are still here and watching, smash that thumbs up for me, guys. Just smash it. And, you know, help me out, guys. That's what gets us up in the views. I'm on at an odd time today, trying to stay consistent with these morning shows, but very difficult. Just so you guys know what's going on, give you a little bit of personal background on myself. You know, I'm getting a little bit older. As people get a little bit older, so do your parents. And I'm at a time where my dad hasn't been doing great, so that's why I'm on the road right now. I'm actually remote. I'm in a position where I'm able to do so. And so I'm back where I grew up, spending some time with my family. So if I am not on as regularly, etc., that's what I'm doing. Anyways, just wanted to let you guys know in case I'm a little erratic in my timing or other, you know, if I appear distracted at all at any point, it's because I'm dealing with some personal life stuff, but nothing bad, just part of getting older, and very fortunate to be able to do so. So while I'm talking about being fortunate enough to be able to do so, let's look at some other tokens. What yes, Elizabeth, exactly. Yeah, it's good stuff, guys. And again, hey, I wasn't trying to be a bummer on the channel, guys. Everything is good. You know, I'm fortunate enough to be able to spend some time with him while he's still healthy. And so, you know, with that, I would say, remember what you're here for, right? You're talking about your kids' futures, Elizabeth. Exactly. Like, what are you here to try to change the world? Are you here to try to do what matters to you, guys? Do what matters. Thomas, thanks for catching me live. So it turns out maybe these mid-morning shows are good for some. So what's happening to everybody who is not normally catching me live? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, guys. Smash that thumbs up. Make sure to hit the bell so that so you know when we go live. Banking the unbanked, best result from crypto, fair playing field and all. Check out Send Friend MIT. All right, Cyber Kenobi, I will. I want to hear. I want people that are trying to bank the unbanked to actually do it. So ETH buy point. Yeah, let's do that. Let's look at that because I sold all the ETH that I had on Coinbase yesterday, guys. I sold all of it. Oh, you're trying to send a trading? All right, I'll show it. I never know what it is. Let's see what it is. Hold up. Let me open a new little mirror. Let's open a new window here and let's see what this trading view chart says. Just a meme. Wow. Huge correction. I mean, I'm just looking at what this prediction is making here. This looks like a Binance chart. Yeah, that's a heavy dip. Heavy dip. I don't know. Do we break that far down? That's pretty strong. 2008. Boy, that sure is looking like a repetition of that pattern, isn't it? Sure is. Well, boy, I don't know. That seems pretty bold to me. I don't know that it's going to fall. I think if it falls that low, that it all goes to hell in a handbasket, guys. If we see it all the way back down to 1,700, I think that's well below capitulation point. Um, this is some doom and gloom. I hope not. I hope not. But I can't argue with what you see here on this this fractal and this pattern. That I can't argue with that. That is a very strong comparison. Granted, guys, this is gold versus Bitcoin and the dollar, but you see what he's saying here with these waves. That's not a bad comparison, man. Not a bad comparison. I don't think it's going to go down that low. I don't think it's going to go down that low. Again, going back to here, I think at the very lowest we'll see somewhere around that 3,500 range, just because the miners it'll no longer be profitable to mine at a certain point. So let's see, what other good news? Circle's stablecoin is getting listed on Binance. Do you think the stablecoin is going to pump, guys? Want to take advantage of that and make a huge run up? No, I thought that was cool, just seeing another stablecoin get listed, having an alternative to Tether. Obviously, TUSD, which is one that has been historically fairly stable, was up 12% yesterday. That's crazy, right? And this is a problem with these stablecoins in general, is they don't stay very stable. So seeing more candidates that might be able to do so, I'm interested to see how it goes. I think stablecoins very likely are going to be one of the ways that regular people start to adopt crypto, because a stablecoin, again, you don't want to spend your Bitcoin because you think your Bitcoin is going to be worth money. Fine, you can spend your TUSD or your USDC or your GUSD or whatever, because it's only worth $1. So maybe that will make crypto adoption get pushed forward and become more familiar to regular people. All right, what else? Stablecoin pump, right? Yeah, exactly. Stablecoin pump. Yeah, honestly, guys. So, I mean, it kind of shows on my chart what I think is the next. Sorry, I cut out. I didn't tell. I promised I was going to do a buy point for Elizabeth, and honestly, really, guys, this is it, right? I mean, I wouldn't even bother trying to get in. This is it here, 160 to 168, because then I suspect you might see one of these wicks. But honestly, guys, I'd be careful. I have caught 2 falling knives recently. I've caught 2 falling knives because I thought that it wasn't going to fall as far as it did. So I caught a falling knife on Ethereum, falling from 220 back down to the 200 range. I ended up buying a couple, no big deal. And then I actually caught a falling knife on Bitcoin yesterday, which I always say, don't do that. I didn't mean to. I didn't market buy. I just had open buys, and it actually happened while I was on the stream. I had buys down at that 5,800 range, because what I really thought was that we've been trading around 6 so far. I thought we'd see another wick down, go to 6, and I thought I was going to make a tidy little, small profit there. Well, didn't always work out. So again, guys, yeah, best steady day trade for this down market. I don't know. I think honestly, a lot of the day trade opportunities were yesterday, realistically. Stellar has been moving in a positive manner. We can look at that here in a minute. But yeah, let's look at an entry on ETH. I mean, realistically, this chart's pretty much all drawn out. I don't even need to do much to it here at this point. Yeah, I would say entries somewhere between 160 and 169. So entries between there. Again, guys, at your preference. Don't put it on the whole numbers. Just figure out where your risk reward there is, and then super tight stop under that. So let me see here. Again, I'm sitting it out right now. I'm sitting it out, waiting for it to go down. Honestly, realistically, what I'm probably going to do is let this money sit in fiat and double down on Bitcoin once I see the confirmation that Bitcoin's going up. I think realistically that's where I'm going right now. Again, guys, don't worry. I still got plenty of ETH in a Trezor. I still got plenty of ETH. I didn't sell all my ETH. It's still in my top 5, never selling it all. I didn't sell it all, but I sold everything I had on the exchange because I want more liquid. And, in the event that everything goes to hell in a handbasket, at least Coinbase is FDIC insured, so I can get my fiat out. So let's see. What does this give us the chance for here? Yeah. Somewhere in there. between about a 5%. So I would set a stop loss at, yeah, stop loss at about 156 if I were to enter at about that 160. And again, I would be looking to, if I were getting into that trade, this would not be for a long-term hold. For me, this would be to actually make up some of the losses that I made on the way back down. So I would be looking to exit that trade. You know, if I did pick it up between the 165, 170, I'd be looking to exit that trade. I would start getting out of it there at 180, and I would try to be fully out of that trade by 200. Again, that's just me trying to make up for my losses. So again, I made some losses. I share the wins, I share the losses, guys. I share the wins, I share the losses. Yeah, I mean, ETH is, I think ETH is still a safe bet for long term, guys. But again, it's really going to take, we need some faith in the crypto market, right? And I don't mean like come to Jesus faith. I mean, we need some people that are like, all right, we just believe that this technology is the way forward, and when it's not just speculative, we're just going to deal with it. But, you know, we need new money to come into the market for anything to change. Right now, it's just kids pushing their peas around on their plate, right? Moving into this, moving into that. I mean, look at this, guys. This is lowest market cap we've seen in months. I think all year, literally all year, lowest. 181 billion with a 24-hour volume. This is the highest 24-hour volume. This is, you know, on the higher end of the volume that we've seen in recent times with this low of a market cap. That means that volume is moving out of the market. We got capital flooding out of the market. That's bad. It's bad. $5 gains over 20 positions, only gains I've been seeing. Yeah, it's fair, man. I was using my crypto hopper making, you know, 1, 2, 3%, but that was basically every percent that I made got wiped out in one sitting. Rough. So let's see. PBC, second nerd war. Yeah, I don't, man, Palm Beach Confidential. I find those as great shorting opportunities just because his group is so large. He does probably have the room to affect the market, especially on those smaller cap coins. Yeah, I would be careful with Palm Beach Confidential calls. Entirely up to you. Do whatever you want with your money, but yeah, be careful with that PBC. All right, let's see here. DJ, you're a good guy. We all walk this walk. Stay strong. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Seriously, Cyber Kenobi. Thanks for all the support, brother. Really. Planning to make my daughter rich because eventually we will all be our own bank. Want to give her a head start. Good looking out, Chris Menard. See, that's what I'm saying. Keep that long-term outlook. Don't just get into this market for right now. Play the long game. Play the long game, guys. It's just like the stock market. This isn't rich money tomorrow. 2017 was a fluke. You know, people will that kind of stuff will happen again, but that's not the normal. All right, let's see what else. Yeah, it is a funny title. I get it. Humanity is dead. New YouTubers still recommending to buy the dip, but I always follow you. Thanks for speaking the truth, Terminator. Thanks, man. Again, guys, you know, it's what do you believe? What do you believe? Because buy the dip is solid advice if you are only buying into projects that you believe in for the long term, right? Buy the dip is, I believe in this long term. I see it's down right now. I think it's going up. I'm going to buy at the low. But if that's not what you really believe, then why the hell would you buy the dip? If you're like, everything's going to hell in a handbasket, the world's going to, why would you buy? Yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy. The second nerd war. Are they talking? I wonder if they're talking about the mining war that's about to happen between, or that is currently going underway, where the mining wars between Bitcoin Cash forks. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's see. Yeah, just wanted to say Stellar got listed on, I believe, BitGo? No, CoinGate. So Stellar becoming a preferred network for many different tokens because it is built as a payment platform from the get-go. Lots of great news coming for Stellar. Let's go ahead over and take a look at Stellar today and see how it's doing. Again, still, I think, holding up pretty well, specifically on rumors of the Coinbase listing. Obviously, this chart looks like a hot mess, but you know, these entries would still hold. Again, I would wait. I think, you know, I think it'll pull back down into this area. But boy, look at that. it didn't even take nearly the dip everything else did yesterday, and we saw a perfect TD13 and pump again. Although this is starting to look a little rising wedgy to me, even with this really long candle, so I would expect to see that pull back in. You know, if I were looking to enter a stellar trade at this point, I would be looking back down, you know, somewhere at this 3,800 level, maybe up to that fib at like 39. And why not just go a little bit lower? We've already seen it can wick down below that. So, you know, 39.13. But again, I'm not entering on any alts right now, guys. I'm not. So entirely up to you guys what you want to do. If you believe in them long term, I'm actually pretty secure in my positions on my alts. I've kind of gotten rid of everything that I think is trash at this point, and I'm just holding the things that I believe in longer term at this point. So ultimately at this point, I'm trying to get more Bitcoin in my bags, and I'm comfortable with my alt stacks right now. All right. Yeah. I'll let your swear words come through, Terminator. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll get to see McAfee eat his own junk, right? That was what he said. 100K. I mean, guys, it still could happen, right? I mean, we could remember how quickly it went from 1,000 to 20,000. Remember, right? It's still possible. I don't think that's likely because I think by and large the public is aware of Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to see that level of FOMO again. However, you know, when this rumored institutional money does come into the market, I think we'll see another massive pump like that. And I think, you know, if you do believe in this long term, then is this a bad price to get in on? No. Yeah, no, it's not a bad price. Yeah, yeah, exactly. A lot of people talking about institutional money coming in like it's a good thing. You think whales push this price around? Boy, just wait until you have huge institutions with the. You think a human is a whale? An institution is a whale. I think institutional money coming into this is going to be like Citizens United getting passed for American politics. And if you guys don't know what that is, there was a law that was passed in American politics. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, something like that, that said corporations can act as people. Well, we all know one of the most inhumane things in the world is a corporation, right? The only thing a corporation cares about is its stockholders, stock price, beholden to the stockholders. Nothing else matters. People don't matter, environment doesn't matter, nothing else matters but profit. And so when you allow a corporation to vote as if it were a sovereign entity, like a person, that's a real problem, and that is kind of what I see the futures market and ETFs and things. So yeah, guys, I want my crypto to be worth more money too, but I think we're letting the foxes into the hen house with all. Watch, mark my words, 2019, we are going to see so many crypto derivative products, right? Because everything's moving to security tokens, everything's moving into more KYC and AML. Mark my words, we're going to see so many derivative products in the next year, and people are going to start buying it, right? And the whole concept of ownership of your private keys is going to start. Do you see what's happening? Do you guys see what's happening? Why does crypto matter? Because, where is it? Hold up. Sorry. Should have had this ready. Why does crypto matter? Because as long as I have this, I have my money, right? I have all of it. You can't take it away from me. I mean, you could take this away from me, but as long as I know the seed, this is no good to you. And, you know, as long as I know the seed, only I have my money. You can't get my money. So that is why crypto, that is honestly a real reason that I think crypto is valuable, is personal responsibility, ownership of your funds. The more custodial solutions we see come out, and the more, you know, the more of these derivative products that we see coming out, the further and further we're getting away from the actual ethos of Satoshi's vision. What are we here for? What are we here for? Satoshi's vision. Do you know the words that were in the Genesis block? Chancellor on the verge of second bailout, and it shows the date. And they're talking about how many times are we, the retail people, how many times are we, the taxpayers, how many times are we going to foot the bill for everybody else? How many times are we going to let them screw us and extract all of the value and keep you in your place so that they can maintain the status quo? How many times? And my next question is, do you want a violent revolution? Because I don't. I kind of don't really ever want to be shot at or anything like that. but I really want things to change. Let's work on changing them. Own your private keys. Buy Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin, own your private keys. Don't buy into this derivative shit. Don't be so excited about ETFs. Don't be so excited about future markets. While I do think that they will be necessary at some point, because, you know, unfortunately, this is just the way the system goes. Well, not necessary. While I think they will happen at some point, you don't have to buy in and support them for your own short-term gain. I guess is really what I'm getting at, guys. I don't know. I'm verging into ethical and political rants at this point. So, yeah. Is anything else? Check 1 hour on Stellar. Sure. Let's look at it. I mean, look at this. Seriously, these were my take profit targets before, right? These were my entries down here. These were my take profits, and it's basically just bouncing between those pivots. And do you know why like, look at this, guys. My targets were solid specifically because look how much time it spends moving in that range. Shit, you could swing trade this, you know? I mean, literally, with as much time as it's spent moving back and forth in here, I'd maybe consider putting some entries at, you know, anywhere down at like 3,900, somewhere at this fib range of like 3,955, and then again where this previous take profit target is at about 4,000, and just see, because if any of those orders hit, then I'd be looking to take profit around, you know, 40.59 up to, you know, 41.20, 41.25, just because, look at it, guys. Do you see it? Do you see what I'm seeing? I mean, it's right there for you. It's right there for you. So there you go. If you wanted that for a day trade opportunity, that's what I would say. Stellar is probably a pretty solid day trade opportunity just because of how it's moving in that range on the 1 hour. Not financial advice. Obviously, do what you want with your money, but that one is, I'd say, a fairly safe one. Keep your powder dry. Well, that's capitalism, like it or not. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the whole world's switching to crypto tomorrow, but I think if more people were financially savvy, they would be a lot more inclined to support Bitcoin over fiat. I think that's really ultimately it. It's just people don't understand how unsound their money is. Most people don't think. How about that? Most people don't think. They're fine to live in their little box, and it's okay because there's Monday Night Football, and you got to get the kids to soccer practice, and, you know, I just need to worry about making enough money so I can pay my taxes and pay my rent, and da-da-da. Most people don't actually think beyond their box, and that's that. Anyway, all right, guys. That's enough ranting for me. I think we're pushing up on about 45 minutes here, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Nothing else I want to see today other than to be proven wrong with my Bitcoin predictions. But I think down we go, and I think we see that 4,800 range, 4,800 range sometime by the weekend. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I think. We'll see. And with that, guys, what is the best move? Who's making the best cars from my point of view? That's actually a good question, Chris. I know you talk to me a lot, or, you know, I know I talk a lot about, we've got a lot of platforms. We need to see some dApps. I think there's a lot of things being built on Stellar that are actually useful currently. And since it is currently the most scalable out of the functional blockchains that are operating right now, I think Stellar is probably my biggest candidate right now. How will taxation and terrorist money control if it's all crypto? Are you saying if you have nothing to hide that I shouldn't have, you know, if I have nothing to hide, I shouldn't be worried about the government being able to see all of my money? Terrorists use cash, guys. Terrorists use your fiat money more than they use anything else. Newsflash. So let's stop with that argument. All right, guys. Anyways, that's it for me today. I'm gonna wrap this up and get out of here. Keep your stop losses tight is all I can tell you. In a tough market like this, keep your stop losses tight. And if you would like to know more about what's going on, you want to stay appraised of the situation, join us in the Moon Lounge. Join us over in the Moon Lounge. Head over to Cryptosomniac.com. Take your 14-day trial for free, guys. Free. In a down market, you can't beat free. So come on over and check it out. We'd love to have you in there. Cryptosomniac.com. Click the little rocket. Try the advantage. Or better yet, just right up there, if you are a Discord member, you see that right up there? There's a link up at the top. You can you can use that and jump in and try the free Discord server if you are already a Discord member. Here is what our Discord looks like. So just to let you know, pretty active community, daily Bitcoin analysis in there, user requested technical analysis. So just like you guys are asking me to look at things on the streams, we do that for you as well. Lots of people in there talking about margin trading. Tons of sweet shorting opportunities going on lately, and the entire community is ravenous for them in there. We talk specifically about the fundamentals of a project, aka YMoon. We've got our free group community discussion. Tons of people jumping in, guys. Come on in, chat with us. We'd love to have you be part of the community. Trader talk. Everybody's talking about the trades that they make. You know, where do we see the market heading, et cetera, et cetera. You like the Trader Talk shows? We have a whole forum full of it. Anyways, guys, we'd love to have you in there. Please join in if you like. And other than that, I hope you guys keep your stop losses tight. Stay tuned. Snay will be on tonight. So Jason in the morning, Snay in the evening. Join the advantage and stick around in the Moon Lounge in the meantime. Other than that, love you guys. Thanks for staying here, and hope nobody got too wrecked yesterday. I'm Jason. I'll see you next time. Right. Don't forget to like and subscribe.